Hi everybody, and welcome back to Mommy and Me Reviews with me, Janae.
Hi, I'm Mona.
And that's my mom. So today we are on episode 6.
Maybe.
I don't know. 6 or 7. The title will be right, but I could be wrong. I don't know. We put that in after. So in post, it is either episode 6 or episode 7 of Married at First Sight, season 14 in Boston. Right now, we are on move into our apartments. They're done with the honeymoon, and everybody's moving into their apartment with their new bae.
Lovely.
So, where do you want to start this week?
We can start with...
I was thinking Noy and Steve.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with Noy and Steve as our first couple. We find them coming back from their honeymoon. They are moving into their apartment for the first time together. They're moving into their apartment, but they do this thing where they both have to go to each other's apartments to go look at their apartments and like grab 3 things as if that's all they're taking to the new apartment. But it's for production, so you can see how they lived before they were in the show.
Right.
And now go.
So, Noy, I think they went to Noy's apartment first.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be really weird about her dog. The dog is not sleeping on my pillow.
You tried it.
Face.
And you tried it.
She's like, oh, no, and then he's so accommodating.
He said, well,
Steve,
right. Maybe we can put the bed next to our bed.
Right.
She was like, no, he's going to want to sleep in our bed.
Why is she being so
you and the dog
unreasonable?
can sleep in the bed because I'm not sleeping in the bed with you and the dog.
She's not being flexible
At all. Now, I will say, if I was on this show, during casting, one of my things on my list is I don't want nobody with pets. Because it's not just her. They all act crazy about their pets. Like, really if our dogs or our cats or our whatever don't get along, we can't be married.
That seems extreme.
I'm not an animal person. So for me, it's just like, oh, well, that cat's going to probably have to find a new home. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
But if they've had a pet, if they've had a pet for years and years and years.
I don't care how long I have my pet. You gonna tell me we not getting married because my cat don't like your cat? Both of these cats could go. Like, I'm not an animal person. So for me, I don't get it.
I have friends that are pet people and they would do anything for their cat. And they know who they are.
She was so adamant that this dog needs to sleep in our bed next to our faces on our pillow.
Even a small dog. It's a big dog.
That's what I said.
If you're by yourself in your bed, that's fine. The dog can sleep on the other pillow or whatever.
Also
by yourself.
Ill.
It's still ill. But you have another person sleeping with you. Why would you think that would be okay?
And he kept trying to be like, well, maybe we can do this or maybe we can do that. She was like, no, he's going to want to lay like on your face. Man, what is supposed to be my reaction? What's supposed to be my reaction to that? Oh, okay. And Steve had a way better reaction than me.
He did. Is she testing him?
No, she's serious.
I'm like, why do you keep saying it? And he's saying alternate. You could at least be like, oh, we could try that. She never said that one time. Never said it one time.
My dog gonna need to sleep on your tongue.
She was annoying with that.
My dog's gonna sleep right on your tongue, and we're gonna figure it out. Absolutely not. And Steve's face, although he wasn't saying it, his face was very much like, I do not want this dog. He was like, and I really don't like picking up poop. It makes me like nauseous. She's like, yeah, you're gonna have to pick up dog poop. No, ma'am, you're gonna.
That's when she said. When she said we, I was like, oh no, you.
I don't have a dog. That's your dog. But I guess people like to compare.
No, I don't want to pick up your dog. But okay. See, she like no.
And I just feel like she was doing too much. He was like, do you want to hold him? No, I don't.
Too soon. Let's wait a while.
And the dog, I feel like the dog didn't even like him either. The dog was like,
right.
Like that.
Right, it's okay. You don't have to like me. Bye-bye.
They went to Steve's apartment too.
Bachelor pad.
Can I say I was just cracking up at the light thing?
He's obsessed.
He's
obsessed.
So I have some lights in the living room, and then I have some lights in the bedroom, and you can change
through that. said, what?
And you could change the colors. And you could do it.
He went through all the colors.
I thought it was fun.
It was cute, but no, we're not going to have lights all over our new apartment.
He said, so we could either bring these
or
buy new apartment or buy new one. And honestly,
her reaction
he deserved lights because you were trying to make your dog sleep on my face.
Her reaction, she didn't react like, we're not going to put lights, but in the interview, she's like, yeah, we're not going to do lights. Did she say it?
I would wrap her up in lights. You trying to make me sleep with your dog and you telling me I can't have LED lights in my house? I literally will wrap our entire house with LED lights.
They're both being like, she's being more annoying, but they're both being accommodating for each other right now in the beginning. It's still new. That's all I think. It's still new.
After they go to, what's her name? Steve's apartment. I don't know why I can't get their names together. After they go to Steve's apartment, they then take 3 items with them back to the apartment that they're going to share, their new apartment.
Right.
And they move in and they do cute stuff and say, this is our new apartment. Then the next day, the experts come in. This expert week was Pastor Cal.
Yes.
He came in to do like a therapy session with them.
Love Pastor Cal.
Do you?
I do.
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
So Pastor Cal came to talk to Steve and Noy, to just have a conversation with them. What they do is they pick the topic that is the most like pressing between the couple in the moment.
They watch over their videos, see what they had conflicts about, right?
And then that's what they talk about during the session. So for Steve and Noy's session, Dr. Cal brought up the fact that Steve doesn't have a job.
Yes.
And he brought up something else. Number of kids. Like how many kids they're going to have or whatever.
Again.
So let's start with the kids thing.
Again.
Noy is very much like, I want 3 kids. And Steve's like, okay, like,
I
that's
understand
cool.
that, right.
I'm fine with us having 3 kids, but what if we have 2 kids and then realize this is a lot and we don't want another one?
Right.
And she's like,
you have complications.
And he said, what if one of our kids has special needs and they need more
attention?
Right.
Right.
She said, I don't care. I want 3 kids.
And then Pastor Cal had to say, why? What is it in your background or your childhood that makes you think that you need 3 kids and you're stuck? She was stuck.
Yeah, she said
she was stuck.
She said it's a deal breaker for her him not to say right in this very moment that he'll have 3 kids. It's a deal breaker.
It's not even now.
That was part of my argument. Like, I'm not even arguing with you about this because you're just saying stuff to be saying stuff. Mm-hmm. This is something you've had in your head your whole life. You absolutely don't know how many kids you're going to have. You don't know how many kids you're going to want after you have 1 kid. A lot of kids are trash. So you might not even want no more after that.
Trash?
Not my kid. My kid is dope. But a lot of other people's kids are trash and I can see why they didn't have more, like, kind of thing.
That seems harsh.
Whatever.
Way harsh.
At them kids. Right. So you can't just be like, I'm going to have 3 kids regardless no matter what. Your body might not even allow you to have 3 kids. So this just seems like a mute argument. Right. Like, why are we even arguing about this? You want to have 3 kids? Okay. Like, I just want to be like, okay.
It seemed unnecessary. Her argument for it. Pastor Cal was just trying to get her out of her head. She was not moving out of her head.
She could be in her head all she wants because I don't know if you realize it, but if you want to have a kid with Steve, you can't have a kid with Steve without Steve. So if Steve is done after 2 kids, y'all are going to be done after 2 kids unless he agrees with you then. I'm not having this conversation right now and we have 0 children. I'm not.
We're not.
And my plan is not to have kids before this 8 weeks is up. This is an unnecessary argument just to cause tension. I don't need it. Babe, you can have as many kids as you want.
Right. Until they get here.
Right. Like, what are we even talking about?
What are we talking about?
And then they brought up the fact that Steve still don't got no job. Now, Steve's argument was, I really enjoy... This is what I heard. Okay. It's not what he said, but this is what I heard.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hold you. These last 4 months have been kind of dope not working. I've been able to make a little money here and there, doing this and that, taking some pictures, being creative.
Make money. That's what he said.
I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, baby. And not going to work every day has been a vibe.
He said that.
And Noy said, but what about our imaginary children? Because we're going to have 3 children, and those 3 children cost a lot of money. So you need to get a job right now so that we can pay for the 3 children that we don't have right now.
Right. I was off when they said, "Oh, he doesn't have a job." I was like, "Oh, that's whack. Why would why would the experts do that?" But now I'm like, let's wait and see what happens. Again, stuff has not happened yet. I understand her wanting a steady, consistent income from day to day, but how he does that is his choice.
I don't care how you bring money into this house.
Right.
But I do, when they were talking to Pastor Cal asked him something about making a sacrifice for your family, blah, blah, blah. To me, when he said that is a sacrifice, I agreed. Working a 9-to-5 job, making the decision to say, because we need money, I'm going to work a 9-to-5 job 5 days a week for 67 years until I cannot, that is a sacrifice. A lot of people don't have the luxury to say, I don't want to do that, and I'm not. I'll figure it out another way. So I agree. It is a sacrifice. And if he's not willing to make that sacrifice, I'm fine with that. But he asked you for a plan. Your plan might not include a 9-to-5, but I think that he should have been able to say, this is how I'm going to make money. Right. This is how I'm going to sustain my family. And this is how I'm going to contribute to this household.
I agree with that. He needs a plan.
He needs a plan.
He definitely needs a plan.
But I think what they are saying to him, they're not saying it right. They're not saying you need a plan. They're saying you need to get a job. And he's like, absolutely not, because I'm not doing that.
I don't think he said absolutely.
It sounded.
You guys are killing my dream.
That's what I'm saying. He was like, bro, I'm trying to be creative out here. I can't be creative and think when I'm at this 9-to-5 job, I don't want it.
He wants to tell us so bad what he did on his trek, his adventures. This was so much fun. Everybody should do this.
Bro, I agree.
I feel like that's what he wanted to say.
And maybe maybe I'm biased because I wish I could be like, you know what? This going to work thing every day is really not a vibe for me, and I'm not gonna do it anymore. Right. And honestly,
everybody
would love
to do that.
I could if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. But again, I make the sacrifice to go to work every day so that me and my daughter can eat.
Right. It's not just you. Right. Okay.
So yeah, I think he should have been willing to discuss. Okay, let's talk about a plan. Let's make
what my plan is.
Right.
A, B, and C. Yes.
I also wonder if part of him not making a plan with Noy is like, bro, I might not even be married to you in 8 weeks. Like, you think I'm not about to commit to all this different stuff, and what if we don't work out?
I don't think that's where he was
going.
No, I don't think that's where he
was. Because imagine now he signed up for a job just to make her happy, and then 8 weeks from now, they don't even work. Bro, biggest quit of my life. Flipping the tables over. I'm out. They're still pretty cute. I still think they're gonna make it. Like I'm still on the they're gonna make it side, but I'm slowly inching over to the maybe they won't. Where you at?
I'm on the side that they're gonna make it, but Noy is really. She's giving me inflexible vibes. Like, why are you being so?
But they got a good person with Steve because anybody else would have been like. Kicking his dog out my bed.
I'm not sleeping with the dog.
Yeah, it would have been a hard no.
That's it. A hard no
for me.
Right.
It's a no for me, dog. All right, let's move on to our next couple, Mark and Lindsay. Again, this episode we find Mark and Lindsay going back to their apartments to get their 3 items to bring to their new house.
Bedbug apartments.
Girl, these people put on hazmat suits to go into his apartment.
You need to put on a hazmat suit. You don't have to go. Anything that's there, you replace except.
Then Lindsay talking about, oh, if I get bit by a bed bug, it's gonna be a problem. Man, stay in the car. Like
she didn't have to go. Right. She didn't have to go.
And I think he would have liked that more if she wasn't there.
Ooh, yes, he would have loved that. He was like, oh my God, you're throwing around my stuff, and I asked you to be. Oh my goodness. She's like, whatever. Come on. You didn't want to be there either. She didn't want to be there either.
So, if you didn't watch last episode we found out that Mark has bed bugs at his apartment, and he got kicked out. I think he got evicted. Well, he couldn't have cats. He has cats, so essentially, I think that's evicted.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Did the cats get fumigated?
No, we just threw them in a new house. I assume that. Like behind the scenes, they figured all that out because
production wants nothing to do.
Yeah, because I think they probably would be liable for bringing bed bugs into that apartment complex. Sure. So honestly, I think they worked all those kinks out outside of like on camera. But they go to Mark's house. Lindsay gets a chance to see how Mark was living beforehand. I guess during their honeymoon, people were inside his house trying to get rid of the bed bugs without his like permission and oversight.
Right.
So all his stuff was just all everywhere. Mm-hmm. His house looked insane. Yeah.
Right.
They put on their hazmat suits. They went inside. They started grabbing his stuff. Mark looked completely overwhelmed because he wanted to do it a certain way. And Lindsay, boisterous as she is, was just grabbing stuff, throwing it into plastic garbage bags.
She's a control freak.
Yeah.
And bossy.
Very bossy. And he just, he just honestly just seemed like he needed a moment.
And you can tell by looking at him, it was all over his face.
I'm like, why near tears?
Read the room.
Yeah.
Lindsay.
He looked like he was like near tears because it was just too much going on.
It was.
There was too much happening. And I assume that he has lived in this apartment for a decent amount of time. He has a connection to it. Right. They're taking his most valuable things that he sees and they're throwing them in a garbage bag.
Right. He didn't even have a moment to go in there and be like, oh my God, what did they do?
Yeah.
Or what's not here and what's yeah.
And it was a lot and she was a lot and I think he was just going through a lot and I can understand
all of his feelings.
How it ended up where it ended up.
Right.
So they get his stuff in the garbage bags, bring it in the car, then they go to Lindsay's house. They walk into Lindsay's house and all Mark could say is, this is definitely Lindsay's house.
Right. And he didn't need to say it 3 more times.
He did. He said it.
He didn't need to say that.
I thought Lindsay's apartment was cute.
It was cute.
But it was very chaotic like Lindsay. It seemed like there was just a lot going on. It was plants. It was colors. It was just a lot. It was like barely one room. Like it was tiny. And Mark's like, you want both of us to move into here? This is not enough space for me. And I think he was just kind of in his feelings about the fact that
I feel like that too. I feel he was taking little jabs. Like, okay.
I was okay with it.
So yeah, this is so Lindsay. Said it 3 times and she was like, okay, so you're saying that and I'm going to take offense to that sooner or later. Like, why do you keep saying that? He was just like, it's just you.
It was chaotic. That's why. It was a lot of stuff in a lot of places. There wasn't really any
She's talking to her plants.
Yeah.
She's feeding her plants, talking, and would you like to meet Lindsay?
I'm like, ma'am, no, I don't want to meet your plants.
Right.
I love plants. Like, I like when other people have plants in their house, but I feel like I can't take care of plants, and I'm like not a plant person.
I do love plants, but I don't have any.
Yeah, because I feel like they would die.
I'm gonna do a plant this summer. Just decided.
I don't think plants are like a seasonal thing. Like, I think you can have a plant whenever.
I think I need to wrestle with the idea a little bit. Because it's a lot. A plant is a big responsibility.
You have a kid, bro.
Oh yeah, you were okay.
Anywho. So I agree with him about the space though. That's not enough space for 2 people to live.
It's not. She needs to. I think they can make it work if she gets rid of some things. I think so.
What things? She barely had a couch. It was like a half a couch.
It was.
Her bed was like a Murphy bed.
Right.
And that was the only 2 rooms. And it was a bathroom and it was like a mini stove. It looked like a
what did he say? Like
he
a
said, this
4-year-old.
That's what it looked like though. It looked like a play kitchen. And I was like, this little...
I don't think,
She said, well, I don't really cook a lot. Ma'am, what that got to do with having a full-size stove?
Right.
You can't even make a casserole.
Adult-size stove.
I didn't, right. So I agree with him. Her apartment, and I think what happened was, in his mind, this was the answer to a lot of the problems that he was going through. And so when he got to her house, he was like, No, like this is not gonna work.
It's not. I'm not gonna go from my 2-bedroom, have more room than that. Yeah.
I wonder how his house didn't look like it was clean before they ransacked it either. So I wonder.
I was thinking
because he said that it was like really organized and really clean, and I was like,
not so much.
But is it though? Here we go again with these cats.
Oh, the cats.
Her cats and his cat had to be in the house. They have, what is it, 5 cats between the two of them. I love his cat because I like his cat's haircut.
I thought that was hers.
No, the one that looks like the Mancoon. And yeah. My coworker's cat is cut like that. He has like the fur on his face. I love that. Her cats, he said, ugh, and her cats hiss, and my cats don't do that.
I was like, all right, now you grasping. Come on,
what
Mark.
it was for me, I think he was getting to the point where he's like, I need a break from her. It is too much. She's too much. And I be with her all the time. That's what he said. He said, it's just, we're here. We're together every day. All day. We're together.
Sir, marriage.
But it honestly, I feel like it don't even really be like that. I think they haven't want to work in a while because they've been on the honeymoon. You know what I mean? Like they haven't had any time apart. Like any time apart. And I think time apart is necessary.
Right. She's kind of giving me clingy vibes. She's clingy. She's being clingy. And he's like, okay, sometimes, but let me have a break.
Yeah, I think he's like,
he's good. I'm good.
And he's going through so much, and he's used to going through things. When you're used to going through things by yourself, it is overwhelming to have a person be like, do you need anything? Do you need anything? Do you need anything? I'm here for you. Do you need anything? Do you need anything? You can say it. I see that you need to process this in your own way.
He can't even figure out how to say that.
No. Her.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay. I see that you need to process this in your own way. I don't want you to feel like you can't come to me if you need anything, but I'm giving you your space.
She's too controlling.
So that you can...
She won't say that.
But I think that's what he needed in that moment.
Okay, are we to Pastor Cal?
Yeah. So then Pastor Cal came to their new apartment to sit down and have the therapy session with them.
Yes. And he was trying to give her an out, but she was not taking it. Like, oh, you're too much, and he's going through this. She was like, well, what is he saying? It sounds like a run-on sentence.
By that point, I think she was defensive.
She was being defensive.
I think her feelings was hurt. She probably felt ganged up on because of how she is and how her personality is. Mm-hmm. It's very much like victim. So I think she felt defensive and that he was personally attacking her character. Again, we said this in another episode. A part of her personality is I'm a lot. So when you attack the I'm a lot, it's like you're attacking my being, my personality.
Right. But that's totally not what he was doing. Mark was just overwhelmed. Again, he couldn't even form the words to express.
Pastor Cal had to help.
Yes, to express. I love when he does that.
Yeah.
To express how he was really feeling, and she really was not receiving it. She wasn't listening.
And I can feel, I can understand why he feels that she's condescending. Because that whole mama bear thing can translate into, I know better than you. Let me teach you. And then I'll show you how it's supposed to be done. Just like the whole, when you come to my house.
Did you see that?
I don't think so.
When she was like, you're moving your head and you're not moving when they were in your brushing their teeth together. It's like, I didn't see that because I was trying to her controlling with the toothbrush. Like, let this man brush his teeth. Right. Oh, I wasn't saying that it was wrong, but I'm just saying.
And she's like, we can't bring your Keurig. It's too much plastic and you're killing the environment. We got to get you a water bottle for when you're at our house because you can't drink out of
24 ounces. Calm down. You're doing on. A lot.
What else did I put?
A lot.
I did like that Pastor Cal said, you need to give yourself to him in doses.
Okay. That's exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know Mark said on the inside, yes, that's exactly what I need.
And even when they were sitting on the couch, I just felt like his body language was very like,
right.
And then she's like, and open. I just feel like he was
We
just like,
know
I want you to get away from me.
That you're open and you want to help, but it can be too overwhelming.
I think he's very overwhelmed. I think Pastor Cal did a good job.
And I'm sick of saying that word with her. I'm sick of it.
I think Pastor Cal did a good job walking them through those feelings. I think he needs a self-care day by himself. Like, I think he needs to just like go do something for himself, go get a pedicure or something. Like, I think he does need a little bit of space from her. And I understand when he's like, I'm scared to say how I feel. Right. Remember you said that? You was like, I think he's scared of her. And I was like, I don't think he's scared of her. But now I'm like, no, he's scared of her. You was right,
say
girl.
What he really feels.
Yeah, because you never know what her response is going to be.
You don't.
Even though I think she has good responses.
She is in touch with her feelings.
Yeah.
She knows how to express herself. But you don't have to do it all the time. You're always
and he's
just
not good at communication, which then makes her seem more right probably more of the time. Because he can't say what he's trying to say. And
when
then
Pastor Cal said, I was like, oh, Mark. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Mark.
Like, he can't say what he's trying to say, so she probably always feels right because she can communicate it.
Yes.
And he just can't. Articulate. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Like, she can articulate it and he can't, so she's probably just like, poor little dum-dum. Let me fix his life. And I think that's what she's trying to do. She thinks she Ayala. You ain't Ayala, girl.
She does have a good... not spirit. She has a good heart. Good intentions. She has good intentions. Right. I was like, that's not the word.
I had nothing for you. I'm like,
she has good intentions. But again, it's too much.
It is.
At one time.
And if everybody keeps telling you that, it is your responsibility to take a look.
Even if you warned, it doesn't matter. Just because you tell people, I'm a lot. Okay.
No. If everybody is telling you you're a lot, and not even just you're a lot, you're too much.
Right.
That's what you're too much. That means you need to like calm down and take a look. You need to take a look at yourself and see, where am I messing up?
The doses.
Because obviously I'm messing up something.
Yeah.
I thought that was perfect.
That was good.
I thought that was a perfect way to sum it up. Give yourself to him in doses. And which translates into give him space sometimes. You're a lot.
Yes.
Either dial it back all the time or give him all of you and then dial it all the way back.
Because if you don't, the way that he was looking at you in the kitchen, like he did not like you, like he could care less. He was so mad that when they were discussing in the kitchen.
And I need a minute. I was on his side. She asked for a minute and then told him to leave.
Right.
I'm getting water right now, so you leave. Right. He left, but still, I wouldn't.
He was like, okay. Right.
I wouldn't have left. You would have had to leave. You need a minute, take a minute. I'm in the kitchen. All right, let's move on to our next couple.
Elijah and Katina.
Oh, and Katina. So, whose apartment did they go to first? I don't remember seeing them go to Katina's apartment. I think I might have missed it. I saw them in Katina's apartment because I remember what her apartment looks like from the first episode. But I don't remember them doing like the walkthrough of her apartment. I do remember.
Yeah, I remember them going to O's apartment. And she was not liking it, but I'm like,
his apartment looks like it belonged to his grandmother and was passed down to him. It's a house, like he owns a house, but it looks like an older house. Like it doesn't look like a new house. It's not modern. It's very old.
Okay.
Mad wood everywhere. So I don't understand why he thought she was gonna be so impressed.
His house needs that. He needs.
But his house is not impressive.
He thinks it is because I think he does construction, doesn't he? Doesn't he do construction work? I think he does stuff to house.
Who said that?
Remember, he was painting the house on the outside.
He wasn't though. He was scraping. He was scraping paint off of a banister, and he scraped the same paint for 35 minutes.
I keep forgetting what he does. I don't know.
I don't know what he
said. Him and his brother did the basement. Over.
They like painted it.
They probably put sheetrock up, made it up.
They probably
their gym.
Painted it.
Yeah, that awful
And who
color.
picked lime green paint? That's why it was just like, but I like that she was very nice about it. Like,
she was very nice.
Probably just get rid of the curtains. No, get rid of the kitchen. And she was like, what is that, gonna be like 50,000?
No, she was like, oh yeah, I don't like the paint and the floors. She was like,
he
was
said,
like, flooring?
He said, no, that don't even go together because the limestone with the, sir, I don't know what you wanted her to say. You wanted her to be impressed and she wasn't. Instead of being like, I'm not impressed, this house looks like your grandma's house. She was being very nice and was like, defensive. I mean, I just would have picked a different color maybe. She was so nice about it. Right. I give her mad kudos.
And because of his personality.
Yeah, because she could have went in and been like, who lives here? Color? Right. And I know exactly what she was talking about with the curtains.
Coffee curtains. Why do you have coffee curtains?
He said, I make the best coffee, something. No, you don't. I almost feel... Never mind. I ain't even gonna go in on his curtains. But my sentiments were the same as her sentiments for that house.
It's a lot. Right.
It was
a lot of colors.
I wouldn't have been impressed. I would have been like, this is real regular smegular. I don't know what the housing market is in Boston because I know Boston's really, really expensive. So
him owning his own house,
I think it's probably which it is. Him owning his own house is an accomplishment. Right. Like kudos to you. I don't think my issue with the house was the fact that he owned it. I was very proud of him for being a black man who owns his own home. It is not impressive. And you wanted her to be like, yeah, the physical house was not impressive, and you wanted her to be like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. You decorated this you picked out these coffee curtains by yourself. No, she's not going to do that. She was very nice about it, and they got his 3 things from his house and moved them back to their house, their apartment together. She's doing it again, and it's pissing me off. Just being like...
Not saying what she really feels.
Yeah. She needs to shut this whole cooking everyday thing down.
And the fact, I liked what Pastor Cal said, oh, that wasn't your deal breaker.
You never said anything about that. He's like, oh,
he did say something. He did say something about, but it wasn't a deal breaker, as if he's making it seem to her.
And he said, well, I told her I'll cook sometimes.
I didn't hear him say that.
He did say that. He said, I make breakfast for her every morning. I make breakfast for us every morning.
Dinner too.
My thing is, if he goes to work all day,
and she does,
and she don't go to work all day, and he pay all her bills and provide for the house, then you can even fix your mouth to present that to me.
But
if I go to work all day and you go to work all day, and then we both come home, how is the responsibility to prepare dinner on me? I don't understand.
Every day.
I don't understand.
Every day. We can take turns.
We can definitely take turns.
Right.
We can't do it together because forget it.
It'll be fun.
It's not fun. Cooking together is only fun if
with kids.
You're making something that neither one of y'all know how to make.
Okay.
Like if you're experimenting with a recipe or doing HelloFresh, like me and my daughter do our HelloFresh reviews. That's the only time it's fun because nobody knows what they're doing. If I know what I'm doing and you taking too long to put my ingredients in and all that, it's not fun. Or if you're taking a cooking class, that's fun.
Okay. It could be like a cooking class.
Not if I know what I'm doing and you don't. And now I gotta be like, put 1/4 cup. Move. Just give me the salt and the pepper and I'll just do it myself.
Okay, so Pastor Cal
came and did counseling with them. This is where I feel like I didn't like his advice to them at all. I didn't like his counseling session to them at all.
I didn't like the end of it. But the beginning was fine to me of asking, he asked the question, have y'all been intimate? And I was surprised that he said, because of me, we haven't been intimate. O said that.
Yeah. And I think that's a good idea. I think them not being intimate.
But don't say it because it's not going to work. That's a good idea. That's why it's a good idea.
No, I feel like his thought process is, I really want to fall for this girl before I have sex with her because I know my track record.
Okay, I hear that.
And I thought
we know his track record.
And I thought that was a good idea. And I feel like that's not even how Katina felt, how Pastor Kyle was saying. And he said it and she was like, yeah, I do sometimes feel like he don't want me. You're lying
you
because
don't.
he
He's
be
very
all over
affectionate.
you,
He's very
right?
affectionate.
You know that he wants you, even though he's not having sex with you. You know,
Right?
he be all over her
Yes.
all the time, and that's what he said.
But her affection, right?
Yeah, I don't think the advice of just go ahead and have sex is good advice. I almost think that's gonna backfire on them.
I feel like it might. But it might be a good thing. Might get her to open up a little more. She'll feel more comfortable. Because she's still feeling a little, to me. Like she's not all the way. But I did want her to say, it's okay if we share cooking. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't like his personality again. Oh, I need my woman to cook every day. And he be so serious with it.
The worst part about it is I'm not even opposed to that. Like, personally, I'm not opposed to
say it like that,
but don't say it like that. Right. Don't say it like I have to.
Right.
I
the way you say it is not right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I honestly I don't mind if in our house that's one of my roles.
I wouldn't mind.
But don't make it seem like you my woman, so you got to. What?
And that's just walk in the house. Oh, here's your bacon Stop. You doing too much.
I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
I think if he didn't say anything or he said it in a different way, I think she would do it.
Right. The way he's approaching it is it's a all or nothing. And then when Pastor Cal just bust his bubble and saying, oh, that wasn't a deal breaker when we spoke. What do you think about that?
Yeah, she don't got enough spunk in her.
She do.
In front of him,
right?
The way she do in her confessionals. In her confessionals, she be like, I don't know where he gets that from. I'm not cooking every day. Man,
I'm used to eating out, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's not.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And honestly,
as long as you get fed.
If you
and I like what she said.
Plate,
did you hear what she said?
No.
I'll make sure you're fed or whatever. Saying whether it's going to be me cooking or us ordering out, I'll make sure you're something.
And again, like that's not her responsibility to make sure you're fed. Like you're grown. Make sure you're fed yourself. All right, let's move on to our next couple. Is this the last couple? Oh no, it's two more because we got to talk about nonsense. Michael and Jasmina. Don't call her best friend.
Best friend.
I think we kind of broke up a little bit, but so Michael and Jasmina, we definitely need counseling. She needs her own counseling. Michael and Jasmina, we go to again. I don't remember them showing them going to Jasmina's apartment. They went to her apartment because
get the dog or
I've seen her apartment before on the previous episode, so I know
she went back to her apartment by herself. They showed her in her apartment by herself.
No, Michael was there.
Oh, okay. I remember.
But they didn't do any talking. I just know where they were because I've seen her apartment before. Okay. They did go to Michael's apartment and they walked around Michael's apartment while he was being weird. And
so weird.
Acting like he didn't actually live there, which made me think like maybe he don't actually live here. He's just using his apartment for the show. It was really weird. She was asking him questions and he kind of wasn't answering. And then she kept asking questions and he still was like not really answering. And then
she asked a specific question.
Have you ever lived with a female before? Right. He said no.
Right.
Later on in the episode, while they're in his apartment, his roommate comes out.
Right.
And we see that his roommate is a girl. Right. Not only is his one roommate a girl, he has two roommates that live in his house, and they're both girls.
And we didn't find out about the second girl until after Jasmina and him had another conversation about it.
And I was so confused.
I'm still confused.
Yes. It just felt weird.
Totally.
That he just acted really weird about it. Especially because she said, oh yeah, because I currently live with a man. Like I have a male roommate and he came to the wedding and she like pointed him out. They've had numerous conversations about her having a male roommate. And his point was it never came up.
It did.
I think what he was trying to say is that you never specifically said, are my roommates girls? She shouldn't have had to say all that.
She should
because the conversation lended itself to, oh yeah, because my two roommates are girls. And it wasn't even about the fact that your roommates are girls.
Right, it wasn't.
It's about the fact that you lying and you acting weird. So now I think it might be something that
else.
your roommates are girls.
Right.
Because why are you being weird? Why are you
wrong?
being weird to me?
And Pastor Cal couldn't even get to that part of the conversation because they was having so much friction ahead of time. He never got to address that, the roommate situation. Right.
So Pastor Cal, so they bring Michael's 3 items back to their apartment. Pastor Cal comes over to do their therapy session. The main purpose of their therapy session was to figure out why these 2 people cannot communicate. Oh, before that, they already had an issue because Jasmina decided, I'm not going to stay in the house the first 2 nights because I got to go get my dog situated. Ma'am, where was your dog during this honeymoon? You didn't care about getting your dog situated in Puerto Rico.
Whoever your dog was with in Puerto Rico, they could stay there for another couple of days. And
she was like, oh, it didn't have anything to do with, like, needing space for Michael.
Totally
and then they got to the confession and she was like, okay, so it really wasn't a dog thing. Like, I really just, like, I really needed some space and I needed to, like, get my head together so I can come back with a fresh start. What about your head is not clear?
Right. And you still came back with the dog to stay in the apartment, so
did she bring the dog to the apartment?
She did.
Oh, I didn't even see the dog.
I think she did.
I agreed with Michael in that moment of we can't just always walk away every time we have a disagreement. I do think the first couple of nights she should have stayed in the apartment with him. But I can understand being like,
we're not gonna have the same.
I know where this is gonna go, and in order for me to fix this on my end, I just need to take a little bit of time so I can come back better. And if that's what was going to happen, then I understand it. I think 2 things can be true. I think he can be right and she can be right in that moment. Yeah.
Because that's what they both want to do. They both want to be right.
They both want to be right. And in that moment, I think both of them were right. I don't think she should have left. But I think if that's what she felt like she needed to do in that moment, it probably was for the best.
Because she was going to come in with the stink face
to
the apartment, and it wasn't going to be all good.
Right.
How she was when she first got in the water. Remember when after they had their little dessert? Yeah. She wasn't having it.
So I think 2 things can be true.
Right.
So after that, they get back to the apartment. Pastor Cal comes, and they start to talk about their communication and, like, their breakdown and, like, kind of where everything went wrong. Jasmina brings it up again that he's aggressive and he, like, yelled at her and did this and did that. And this is the first time Michael spoke up about it and said, we're not going to do that. I never yelled at you. If you said my tone was a certain way or if how I was coming across was a certain way, that's one thing, and I give you that. I never yelled at you.
And he said, well, I never used the word aggressive.
I never said I was aggressive.
You would never. He would never say it, though. If you're the person being aggressive, you're not going to say
that he never actually yelled at her. I think she heard it how she wanted to hear it, and he was probably being disrespectful.
The way he was saying
I think it was tone.
I think the words he was using. Maybe he didn't yell.
Right.
But he did probably.
I think it probably was elevated.
Right.
And I think spirited. Passionate, if you will.
Passionate, yes.
But I do think that he probably had a tone that was unacceptable. I think the way that he talked to her, she deserved to feel how she felt. And I think the whole I didn't yell is semantics. Sir, okay, you didn't yell, that's fine. But she couldn't do that. So then now that's the issue.
Right.
You yelled, no, I didn't. And now we got to talk about that for 20 minutes. When really it doesn't matter. Okay, you know what? Maybe you didn't yell, and maybe I'm internalizing the conversation. Maybe you didn't yell. But you're right. Your tone, what you said to me, how you said it was all disrespectful and it's unacceptable. Right. Now what's his rebuttal? Right. Because his rebuttal is I didn't yell.
Right. Now Pastor Cal just cut both of them off, tried to get to the root of it. Do you think she's condescending to you when she's talking to you? Do you think he's aggressive when he's talking to you and you're just like what did he tell him to say? He told him to say, when he's talking to you like that, I'm not your enemy.
I'm not your enemy.
I'm not your enemy.
It's going to be hard to work through a situation where this person is always low key. Now I'm like, you're lying about Matt. Like,
now he's being weird. Now he's being weird. Yeah, but this is lying.
So at this point, this is the third time he lied.
Okay, right.
In her mind, this is the third time he lied.
In her mind, right.
You lied about me cutting you off on the boat, like you just made that up.
Right.
You lied about this roommate thing, and then said we never even had a conversation about it. So that's weird. You lying again, and then cute. I told you, you yelled at me, and now you're talking about you never yelled. Something is going on, and now I'm questioning, like, what's up with you?
What is up with Mike?
I don't know. I almost want to say he don't like her.
I don't think that's it. It's her demeanor and her face, which is not smiled again in a long time.
Her face is like that because he's pissing her off.
But she can't be pissed off all the time.
Why? If I'm pissed off all the time, I'm pissed off.
We have to get every
time I bring myself to get through it, I come back and we arguing about something crazy because you acting weird.
He should not. It's something else. It's got to be something else.
That roommate thing is going to have to come up again because there's no way that he acted like that in the conversation for no reason. I'm
so upset. And the producers absolutely play back when she asked. Yeah, so...
But it wasn't, and the worst part about it is it wasn't even that long. They didn't even have to do the playback. It was in the same episode within the same 20 minutes.
And they did it.
It wasn't even a commercial break in between him saying it and him saying, I never said that.
Right, but
he got to be something else.
No response and comeback. He's just sitting there looking weird.
And then he looks at her as if she bugging. And I don't like.
Oh, I didn't like that. Like, that's exactly how I'm looking at you. You looking at me like you don't believe me or something. Like I didn't like you don't believe. I don't.
Because what are you talking about? What you're saying doesn't make sense. And that's how I'm looking at you.
And then that's when the other roommate came in. Like, what do you mean you have
two girls? But now to him, now it sounds like your issue is that I have two girl roommates. When it's like, no, that's not the issue. The issue is I blatantly asked you about living with a girl, and you said no.
And then he does so I live with two girls. And then
now what? He turned me all the way off this episode. If I was ever on his side, he turned me off.
I'm worried about them now.
I'm very worried about them. If he doesn't stop acting weird, she's never gonna let her guard down enough not to have an attitude.
No. Right, she's gonna have rest in peace face for the rest of the season.
And like the rest of the black women in the world, she's gonna get blamed as being a person with the nasty attitude. When in real life, this man been pissing her off this whole time. Okay, so our last and final couple that I'm so happy to talk about this week, Alyssa and Chris.
Yes, the last time we'll see Alyssa. Is it?
No.
Oh.
So Chris started out the episode by saying, I'm going to go meet with one of my friends because this friend can always tell me, you're being an idiot. Get out. Sir, I'm not your friend. You are being an idiot. Get out.
Exactly.
You don't even need him for that.
Read the comments. Get out.
Read the comments. Read the room. Look at her face.
Right.
You're an idiot. Get out. So he met with his friend and he talked to his friend, told his friend what was going on. His friend wanted to go in, but kept his composure. You could tell his responses. He was just like, stop.
Tattoo.
You're lying about the eagle tattoo.
Right. You're lying.
Maybe there's a 50-year-old sailor somewhere with an eagle tattoo. Yo, he wanted to go ham. He didn't. He kept his composure. He did good friend vibes. Like, I don't need to go in on you because you're not making the best decisions. But hey, we tried, right?
But he's explaining it exactly how it is. Like, she heard from a friend of a friend of a friend that this happened.
Right.
Because didn't she bring up something else? was she saying to her mother? Where
So
did she
then
get that
she
from?
went to meet with her mom.
Right.
The conversations were going on simultaneously, and they edited them
back to like they were.
Yeah,
back to back, right.
Like if they were sitting in the same room, it felt like it listened like one conversation. And Alyssa, being Alyssa, was telling her mom all types of nonsense that like, where did you get this from?
Where did you get this from?
Then she gonna say, I looked at his Instagram and he posted something that said,
Blue Lives.
No, not Blue Lives Matter. He posted something that said, defund the police.
Oh,
and
yes,
you know how strongly I feel about first responders. What? Also,
ridiculous.
Do some research. That's not what defund the police means. She's like, and then how are you going to call the police? They're not going to want to come save you when they defund you if you defund them.
A little awkward laugh smile.
Right. Man.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
And I was like, see, I knew there was something about Chris. Now, in the beginning, I thought it was negative because I was like, so it's something secretly
like
about him, which I still kind of feel like that. But I don't think we're going to get to see it.
We'll never know.
But shout out to you, defund the police. Appreciate it. And so she kept saying, I just feel like our political views are different and da-da-da. So she's definitely giving me Trumper. She's definitely giving me Trumper. Trumper vibes. Like, where were you January 6th? Alyssa. And she was telling her mom whatever. And her mom's just like, then her mom gonna say, well, he seems like a nice guy.
He did.
And she was like, she almost felt like she wanted to be like Ashanti voice, Ma. But her mom was like, I mean, I only met him at the wedding. That was the only time I met him. But I mean, he seemed like a nice guy.
Don't back it up. Don't back up now,
She
Mom.
said, I thought they were gonna give you like a cowboy, but I mean, he's cute.
Right.
She did say that. She said he's cute.
And Alyssa
didn't say nothing. Like,
she just was trying to do the, well, I tried.
Right.
I tried.
And you
that
didn't.
is her.
And you didn't.
Oh.
And you didn't try at all.
Right. And if she says, I'm not a bad person.
I'm a good person.
I'm a good person. One more time. Well, hopefully she doesn't have to.
Hopefully she doesn't have
right,
to.
Right.
The one thing her mom said that I didn't agree with, she said, I just feel like he needs to prove himself.
No.
And he doesn't.
It's because of the way she was trying to portray him. Yeah. If you could see what your daughter did,
I think her family and friends are probably gonna watch this back and be like, Alyssa. Because there's no way you watch this show and think he was so disrespectful to her, because he wasn't.
Please show me.
And she keeps saying that.
Right, and they can't even cue back to him being disrespectful. She says it all the time.
So they didn't do the whole apartment thing. Alyssa is not living at the new apartment. Chris moved into the new apartment. He stayed there by himself, which I kind of thought was stupid because I feel like this whole thing was like a plan for him. So I'm not sure why he took the time to pack clothes and move them to a house that he wasn't actually going to stay in, but that's neither here nor there.
But then you said maybe he was thinking of a different outcome of the
conversation. Maybe. I don't know. So then Pastor Cal comes to do a counseling session with them to try to figure out their problems.
Intervention.
Yeah. Pastor Cal comes, he starts talking to them and cue up Alyssa to just start talking about nonsense and all her complaints and all the things she's done, how hard she's worked. Go ahead,
you talk like Alyssa, I'm gonna give you the Chris face. Over it.
Well,
over it and you.
Feel like
cute tears. Cute tears.
So disrespectful and such and I tried. Like it just was kind of ridiculous. And really Pastor Cal was like,
That's not what we're going. I saw the tapes, Alyssa, just so you know.
He's seen the footage, baby. What you gonna do?
Let's see. Chris.
Pastor Cal said no. No.
Chris? This is my decision day.
Right. Chris was like, yeah. I've had enough.
Been there,
you know
done that.
Now that I'm replaying it in my mind, I think that probably was it. I think once she started talking and her energy was the same.
Same.
She was bringing the same words, the same phrases, the same little keywords to try to make it seem like somehow her safety was in danger at some point. Like, I think he just was fed up and was like, you know what?
Right.
I'm done.
Cut my losses right now.
I'm done.
Because my next wife, she's going to be perfect for me.
And he was like, and I think this, I never knew more what I wanted than I do right now.
Right.
And he decided, Chris decided that he wants a divorce and he's done with it because Alyssa's trash. And you know what? I applaud you, Chris, because I think that was the best decision that you could have made.
And she's like, I wish this didn't happen like this.
I knew she wasn't going to be the one to do it. I knew she wasn't going to pull the plug early.
Right. Why?
I knew it. And she never, like, even when she was talking, she never said, well, I want to try to work on it with him. She said,
I heard that part. You said you didn't.
She said, I want to see where we can go from here.
Mm-hmm.
To me, in Alyssa language, that means I want to know when my turn to move into the apartment is going to be.
Never.
Like, she didn't seem like she was saying, I want to give this a chance and see if me and him can work. She none of those words she used. She said, I just want to see where things can go from here. How do we move forward from here?
And then when Pastor Cal did you were getting married, this is your honeymoon, and you didn't want to stay in the room with your husband. She was like, what was your anticipation? Thank you. What?
And he was like, no, like, you're not going to come here, live here for 4 weeks, and then he lives here for 4 weeks. That is not marriage.
That's not what we're not.
And you knew what you signed up for.
Absolutely.
What are we even talking about? Absolutely. Pastor Cal was definitely giving me, what are we doing here energy.
Yes. Chris, thank you.
Thank you. I think Pastor Cal wanted to be like,
good decision. That's the best decision.
You should say you want to.
Right. I try. Please, if you don't say you tried one more
time,
didn't. You didn't
try.
try. In iota, you did not try at all.
Pastor Cal looked at her like, girl, bye.
He did.
Deuces.
He did the, what was you thinking?
He did do that face like.
I like when he takes his glasses off. He should have took his glasses off.
He looks stressed when he takes his glasses off.
Yes, he do.
Jesus Christ. What are you doing? I thought it was funny. I'm glad that Chris walked away, honestly, because I think it gave him back a little bit of his dignity. Because I do think I don't think he embarrassed himself, but I do think that would have been a shot to my ego a little bit. Like,
but I think he's comfortable in his own skin and he knows his worth.
Now.
Yeah.
Because it took a little long for me. But I'm glad he got there. And I'm glad he's like, I'm done. Especially because she was saying, oh, I want to see how we move forward. Like, he didn't even entertain that. That's why we didn't get to figure out what he meant by it. Because he absolutely did not even entertain that. Girl, I don't care what you're trying to see. I want a divorce. I'm done.
Absolutely. I'm so happy.
He put the ring on the counter like.
This is possibly the last episode we'll see Alyssa. I hope that's it. I hope so.
I hope so.
Keep hope alive.
All right, guys. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe below on this video. What did you think about this episode? I want to know what you guys think about Jasmina and Michael. I don't know why I feel so invested in their situation more than everybody else's. But
it's your best friend. Former best friend.
Former best friend. We on hiatus right now. But I want to know what everybody thinks about what's going on with them. How can they come back? How can they fix this? Or can they fix this? So like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And join us again next week for another episode of Mommy and Me Reviews. Bye.
Bye.